A very good afternoon to all of you. I welcome you to this MAHCET session. We'll talk about sentence improvement today. Okay, so just quickly let me know whether I'm visible, audible, everything is fine so that we can begin. Yes. Good afternoon, Chetan. Right, so I hope your MAHCET preparation is in full gear and you are not discounting grammar at all. Grammar is important when it comes to an exam such as MAHCET. And in the previous years, we have seen sentence improvement questions. So that's the purpose of this session, to equip you to attempt these questions accurately. Okay, great. Hi Girish. Hello Rashida. Hi Phoenix. A very good afternoon. Hello Shubham. I hope all of you are doing well. Right. So we'll discuss some questions, of course, and more than just discussing them, we'll learn how to approach these questions. You have a time constraint in the exam, so how to approach them, get them accurate in the minimum time possible, right? And of course, we are going to look at different question types even within sentence improvement. Okay, so let's begin. This is your first question. Now, sentence improvement can be called by different names. Sentence correction, sentence improvement. There is a form of it that is called phrase replacement. But essentially, what you are doing is you are spotting errors and then you are choosing the most correct one. Okay, so out of these options, you are choosing the one that is grammatically correct. That is what you are essentially doing in almost every question. So look at this question here. You have 5 options because the exam has 5 options. Tell me what the answer should be. Yes. Akash says C. All right. Others? So this is a 30-second question, not more than that, right? Because the part that may have an error is given to you, underlined for you, right? All you have to do is compare the options. Now, when you read the original question, I suggest that you try to spot as many errors as you can here itself. So Andrew was unexpected called for the jury duty. For the jury duty, this part is fine. Okay. For the jury duty, I don't see anything wrong here. And in fact, when you look at your options, all of them have this itself for the jury duty. Duty. All right. Now, unexpected called. This seems to be a little off because called is a verb here. And if you want to describe a verb, should you use an adjective or should you use an adverb? Yes. When we describe a verb, we should use an adverb, right? So unexpected is wrong. It should be unexpectedly. Once you realize this, right on just reading the question, right now I have not even looked at the options very well. You can very easily eliminate A and B. Okay, so happy that nobody said A or B. Then was is there, so it cannot be call. This is eliminated. And I know that I need an adverb here, so C is my answer and not E. Easy question. Yes, it will help you for TISNET as well because see, grammar questions are asked in TISNET also. It will help you for CMAT as well because grammar questions are asked in CMAT also. Right? So, helpful for a number of omits. Look at this question here. I've just named it sentence improvement, but ultimately what you are doing is the same, isn't it? You have to look at this underlined phrase and see what is the best replacement of this phrase. Yes? So Phoenix is asking about the date of the exam. Yes. Others, please enlighten him. What is the date of the exam? Yes. And also answer this question at the same time. Akash says B. All right. B. Okay. What else? Any other option? Okay. C. All right. All right. Shubham, I'll have to check. I think you asked it earlier as well, and I asked this from my team, and we don't have any precise data regarding this. So you'll probably have to ask some of your seniors, okay, or anyone whom you know meets the same criterion. Okay. All right. B, D, C. Fine. Different options this time. What is an ensemble? Ensemble. I see this on a lot of music covers. Yes, I see this description in various albums, ensemble. What is it? So, it is a group of musicians. In this case, it could be a group of dancers also, a group of artists also, right? So, a group of dancers, musicians is called an ensemble. After this year's record shattering January performance in Madison Square Garden, the ensemble, now it is the name of a group. Yes, I just told you it's a group of musicians, dancers, etc. So this is a collective noun. This is essentially a subject verb agreement question. Now, should it be singular? Should it be plural? That is the question. See, in case I haven't told this to you earlier, a collective noun is usually singular. Okay, it is usually singular. When is it plural? When is it plural? When the focus is on the individual members. The focus is on the individual members. Do you see that there is a focus on the individual members here? I don't see any focus on individual members as such here. And because there is no focus on the individual members, the ensemble was touted as the country's best new group in decades. Okay, we are calling them one single group. We are not focusing on the individual members as such. So the ensemble was touted. Make sense? It's not A, it's rather B. Some of you said C and D also. The country touted the ensemble like the best group. No, they were touted as the best group. They were the best group, the best new group. Like would mean similar to, but not quite the same. So, eliminated. Uh, touting the, on who is touting the ensemble? When I say touting the ensemble, touting is that you are claiming something to be the case. So, who is claiming that the ensemble is the country's best new group? That is not written in the previous description. So, again, this touting does not have any subject to it. Who is touting is not clear. So, eliminated. C and D. Very easily. So far, so good. I think these are, I mean, the two questions that we've done so far have been easy. Yes? All right, then let's proceed. Now, let's look at a lengthier question, so to say, right? Hi, Prateek. And here again, a part of this has been underlined for you. You have to tell me which one fits the best here grammatically. Let's see what you say. Akash has answered the fastest. Others? Okay, Girish has also answered. Phoenix, Yash. All right. Om says E. Chetan also says E. Okay. So it's D versus E in the chat box right now. All right. D is still ahead. Anybody else? Yes, what about the others? Confused between D and E. I understand. Those are the two close options here, right? So, in such questions, what should your approach be when you see that, okay, a long phrase has been underlined and then the options also appear to be dense here, right? So, in such cases, instead of reading each and every option horizontally, it is best that you scan them vertically. This is called a vertical scan. When you scan them vertically, right in the beginning, you spot some differences, isn't it? So, indicate versus indicates. So, that means right here you can decide whether it should be indicate or indicates, which a lot of you have decided correctly. So, what is the subject of this indicate or indicates? It is not changes, it is rather pattern. So, the pattern indicates because pattern is singular. And you're absolutely right. Okay, these two cannot be the answers, right? Okay, now may indicate, all right, that everyone alive today has descended from a single female ancestor who had lived. Can it be who had lived? Yes, it cannot be because we are given the precise time point. When we are given the precise time point, okay, in the past, then we do not use the past perfect tense. We rather use the past simple. So very good that you've eliminated A, B and C, all three of them. Okay, and again, see what did I do? Here also I spotted the differences only, right? I looked at the fact that, okay, this is past perfect versus past simple. Okay. Now, what is the difference between these two? It's a preposition difference. Of versus from. Right. So, you are a descendant of someone while you descend from someone. That's how we use the prepositions. To descend from someone, to be a descendant, to be a descendant of someone. Okay. So, the correct preposition here is of, and therefore this is eliminated. D is the answer. Make sense? Yes, this is the answer, D, Delhi. Clear? Okay. Coming to our next question here. Yes. Mock tests. So we released a free mock test a while back. I hope you took it. Apart from this, if you can consider the BYJU'S test series, but you can't specifically subscribe to MHCT mocks there, right? So, and you can do this, no, take the free mock tests, right? Whatever are available to you, then whichever one you like the best, just subscribe to that series. You can do that. Let's see what you say for this one. Again, a phrase replacement question. Okay, first response I've got. All right. Okay, three responses. Others? So quite a few E's I can see in the chat box. That's it, just four responses. All right, a D also. So one C, one D, three E's. What else? Come on, there's no negative marking here. Okay, E. All right. So quite a few E's. Now, again, increasing weight. So this is the first thing that I do, that when I read the question stem, I try to identify as many errors as I can. The obvious ones, definitely. Increasing weight when unaccompanied correspondingly by increases in muscle mass. Okay, so this one is a very obvious error. See, I didn't have to think much here. Increases in muscle mass. Why am I using the plural here? Right? Can lead to lifestyle related disorders. So the can lead part seems fine to me. Now, possibly lead is incorrect. If I just want to write possibly and then follow it by a verb and the subject is singular, you can see that increasing weight, that's a singular subject. So agar mera subject singular hai, then I should write leads here and not lead. So these two I eliminated right away. Okay, B and D. All right. Now, others have can lead. So now let's see the differences when it was unaccompanied. Here we have just unaccompanied, here when it was. Now, why it was? Why the past tense? Because here I can see I have the present tense. So I do not need the past tense. Comes down to A and E. If not accompanied by a corresponding increase. Now, this makes sense. Okay. So basically, we are saying that something is increasing if it is not accompanied by a corresponding and okay, an equivalent increase, right? An equivalent increase in muscle mass can lead. All right, so I needed an adjective here and not an adverb. Okay, unaccompanied. Correspondingly should not modify unaccompanied. Corresponding should modify increase. Okay, because we are comparing the two increases, so to say. Good. Those who said E, I think I got 5 E's, but very few of you are responding. Why? Why is that? What is stopping you? All right, look at this. I want more of you to respond. Easy question. Okay. What do you say? All right. Others? Okay. B, A, B, fine. D, E, B, A, all right. So basically, I've got everything except C. Okay. All right. So some of you. Okay. So, okay, fine. Basically, C is incorrect. That's what everybody believes in, isn't it? Um, where she had died. See, again, good that you applied this understanding that when we are given the precise time point, then we cannot say had. We cannot use the past perfect. So good that you applied what you learned in a previous question. Happy about it. Now, let's have a look. What is the problem in this, in these sentences? All are incorrect. E is the answer. So I'm happy that some of you did say E. Rohan said E. Om said E. Okay, so two of you are absolutely correct. The woman's condition is singular, so it can't take have. So eliminated right away. Okay, had is fine here. Now, and was admissioned. Who was admissioned? The woman, right? But do you see the noun the woman anywhere? The subject of worsened is not woman, it is the woman's condition. So it's a very important concept for all of you that here who was admitted, actually admission is wrong. So I could eliminate it on that basis also. Okay, so let's eliminate this on that basis. Let's go to D. The woman's condition had worsened during the lockdown period and was admitted. So who was admitted? The woman's condition? No, the woman was admitted, right? But we do not have the word woman anywhere. Here, this is not a noun. This is actually a possessive adjective. That's how we address it. Okay, it is describing condition. Condition is the subject. Condition is the noun that has been used. So the condition was admitted does not make sense and hence eliminated. The correct way of writing this sentence would be the woman's condition had worsened during the lockdown period and she was admitted to a Bhiwandi hospital where she died on Tuesday. Okay, yes, there's in also. So even D could be eliminated easily. So in is incorrect, had is incorrect, admission is incorrect, have is incorrect. Also, we did not have the subject for the part was admitted. Who was admitted? The condition wasn't. Okay, we need to state who was admitted, right? Hence, E. Make sense to everyone? Okay, so this was a good question. Let's see the next one. Again, you have to find the correct sentence. One sentence has been written in 5 different ways. Find the one that is grammatically the most appropriate. All right. This is again a 30-second question. Easy question. And for some of you, not, in fact, not even a 30-second question. All right. 3D is 1C. Others. I want 27 responses in the chat box. Okay. So what is the concept that is tested here? Any idea? The concept is parallelism, right? Parallelism says that words that serve the same function in a sentence should also look similar, right? So he began searching for jobs. First of all, here we have the error international. Now, searching for jobs should, if I have the verb began searching, then I need internationally because it is describing this aspect. Okay, it is describing the verb, I need an adverb here. So this was easy to eliminate. Now, Joe began searching for jobs internationally. Okay, and look for, or should it be looking for? So see, searching, looking, they should look similar. They should be consistent with each other because two actions happened. Okay, searching and looking. Two activities happened there. So this does not match this. Okay, then to search does not match looking. It is only in one sentence that we see that searching matches looking, right? Began is the verb here. Searching and looking, these two are parts of speech. They are nouns, and we call such nouns gerunds. Okay, the verb plus ing form, when it acts as a noun, it is called a gerund. So he began what? He began searching, right? It's a noun. But it is search plus ing, it looks like a verb. So such words that look like verbs have the ing form, they are, but act as a noun, they are called gerunds. Okay, and parallelism says that there should be gerund consistency in my sentences. If they are serving the same function, then they should look consistent. They should look similar. So, searching, looking. Easy peasy. Yes, D Delhi is the answer here. Okay. Now, let's have a look at this one. Okay, again, one sentence written in 5 different ways. Tell me which one is correct. Om says C, all right. Akash C. Others. Shubham C. All right. B. Okay. 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 So here our focus was on conjunctions, right? See this. This disease. Why is A not the answer? Yes. Let's have a look at that. The disease is not incurable. I do not need to use these double negatives, so to say. Right? I could simply say the disease is curable, isn't it? So this is not a concise way of phrasing something. If I have a better way in the other sentences, I will choose that one. Then, moreover, when I say, oh, it is curable, that's a positive thing. Whereas saying that it is draining is a negative thing. So the idea of the author is to draw a contrast. So you can see that contrast is present in all these four, but let's see which conjunction is correct here. If you've used while to draw the contrast, while he played outside, his sister played inside, let's say, okay. So I'm drawing a contrast there and I don't need yet with it. So this is eliminated because yet is not required. Okay, either you use while or you use yet, you will not use both. Now, although this disease is curable, fine, it is so draining that it leaves a person with almost no energy. This one seems fine. Remember, with although also we do not use yet. A lot of students think that with though and although we use yet. No, although is enough to draw the contrast, right? D says even though. All right. Now again we have the not incurable structure. It is so draining that it leaves a person with almost any energy. No, with almost no energy. So either you can say it does not leave a person with any energy, or you can say it leaves a person with no energy. You can't say it leaves a person with any energy. Any is usually used with negative sentences. Okay, whereas this part here is positive. Eliminated. E. It is too draining. When do we use this too along with an adjective? Although it also has this any, but there is another error here. When do we use this too? It is too cold to go out. It is too cold to go out. Right? So two, usually they come together. Right? In case the person does not say this, it's implied. Oh, it's wait. Let's say you ask someone, let's go out, and this person says, oh no, 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 it's just too cold. So that means this person is trying to imply it's too cold to go out. Right? So here I do not see any two later on, and therefore eliminated. Our answer is C here. Good. A lot of you said C itself. Just explained to you all the errors so that you don't make them in the exam. Any suggestions on how to stay composed? Satyam, so one is that why is it that you're tensed? If let's say it's because of the preparation, then trust me, if you have prepared for some moments, if you have been attending the sessions, if you are making progressive steps towards every day, you are getting better every day, right? So if you approach that with a negative mindset, probably you'll spend or waste a lot of time just being upset or just being tensed than practicing. Okay, so just think about it like this, that being tensed, being upset does not serve you, it does not serve anyone. Whereas if you devote that energy to preparation, who knows, you might just go to JV, right? So that's one thing, it does not help you. Another thing is, some things that help me, for instance, I usually begin my day with meditation. If I'm not able to meditate because of, let's say, X and Y reasons, then I at least read some affirmations. This is something that works for me. Different things work for different people. Okay, some people like to journal in the morning, some like to read something spiritual in the morning. Okay, so for me, affirmations work, meditation works. So try to start your day on such a note that puts you in a calm mood right in the morning, right? And similarly, end your day in such a note. Another thing to make you more effective, more productive is that at night, plan your next day in advance. That, okay, this is all I'm going to do the next day. That, does not drain your energy right in the morning just by thinking, oh, what all do I have to do today? Right? So plan your next day in advance on the previous night. Okay? So I hope these things help you. All right. Coming to this question. Now, this is just to show you that sentence improvement asks me to go and correct the sentence and identify the correct sentence, whereas error spotting is a different question type. It's an easier question type. This just asks me to spot the error. Okay, so it will just ask you to spot the erroneous fragment. It does not ask you to correct it. So in my opinion, this is an easier question type. Tell me what the answer should be here. Okay, so see, I'm going to sound very philosophical here, but this is something that I have experienced in my life, that thoughts create things. And this is a Buddhist saying that thoughts create things. Okay, through your beliefs, you can actually change your reality. Okay, if I have a negative belief right now, okay, so even before that thing has happened, if I approach it in a negative way, I actually, it becomes self-prophesizing. In the world of economics, we call it self-prophesizing. So I actually make my own prophecy true. Okay. On the other hand, if I think positively about it and take baby steps, progressive steps every day towards it, then I am more likely to achieve my goal. And this has been, a lot of religions say it, a lot of spiritual branches say it, and it has also been proven to some extent scientifically that a positive mindset makes you more likely to achieve what you want to achieve. Okay, so don't think of it, what if things don't go my way? You create this belief that things are likely to go my way. I am making the effort towards it. Okay, so trust me, it sounds philosophical, it may sound like a lecture to some of you, but I am saying this from experience. Okay, and I hope this happens for you, but it will happen when you approach it with a positive mindset that I can do it. Okay, all right. And absolutely correct. B is the answer here. So fewer marks is what I need here and not less marks. I have discussed few and little with you on many occasions in our grammar sessions, and I have told you that few is an adjective that we use with countable nouns. Little is an adjective that we use with uncountable nouns, right? Marks are very much countable. 1 mark, 2 marks, 3 marks. So if it is countable, you have to use few with it, not little. Less is the comparative degree of little. Fewer is the comparative degree of few. Okay? So I need fewer here. Welcome, welcome. So something that works for me, whenever I'm aiming for something that seems very ambitious at that point, is this affirmation that I am worthy of all my desires, right? So the moment I think like this, that I am worthy of whatever I'm aiming for, it just looks very near to me, looks nearer to me, and that helps me. Okay. All right. Now here, this is a special MAHCET question type that I saw in your previous year papers, and therefore I thought to make you practice some questions on it. So there is one sentence that has been divided into 3 parts, 1, 2 and 3. For each part, a corresponding statement that suggests a correction is also given for each part. So you have 3 fragments that suggest a correction. Now determine the part that requires correction. Determine the part out of these that requires correction. So it's actually an easy question type because they don't just give you, let's say some of these may have errors. Now they have also corrected it for you. All you have to spot is, okay, which one needed correction in the first place. That's it. So look at this and tell me. Disappointed with someone. Yes, disappointed with someone. Rohan, what you can do is you can revise some of your grammar. In case you have some grammar notes, you can just go and revise those grammar notes. And in case you want to revise some formulae for mathematics, you can do that, right? Apart from that, I don't think you need to do a lot, okay, at this stage. Just relax. And in case, yes, you've been doing GK, you have some GK notes with you. Okay, then the main GK notes, not everything out there under the sun, the main GK notes. Okay. Some of you say 5, some of you say 3. All right, others. Okay, just 5 responses. Okay, you people are being very miserly with responses, very stingy. Uh, okay, so the act of rubbing stones together to produce sparks were, I can see that there is an error in 2. Yes, because the act, if it is the subject, then were is absolutely incorrect. So it's a glaring error. There may be other minor errors also, but this is a glaring error. So was humankind's attempt? 2 definitely needs a correction, and therefore this is eliminated. Okay, does not help me much, but helps me to some extent. And not a tool to cooking food. See, a tool meant to do something, right? If I'm talking about the purpose, okay, so to do something, not to doing something. So to cook food is the correct one. So third also needs a correction. I can see that. So going by this, I know that either this is the answer 1 or this is the answer. Now let's look at 1. The act to rub stones does not really make sense. This is not really a good correction in case they have tried to correct it. The act of something, the act of rubbing stones together to produce. Now see again, purpose is to produce sparks. So 1 is absolutely fine and you are absolutely correct. 3 is the answer here. Okay. Okay, sure, Shubham. So in this question, what has been done is this is your sentence, it has been divided into three fragments. Now, these may have an error. These may have an error. So, accordingly, the examiner has also given you certain correction statements. Correction statements. So, these, as per the examiner, are the corrections of 1, 2, and 3. But one may not have an error at all. You have to keep that possibility in mind. So, what you have to see is whether one has an error or not. Okay. In case it has, then of course it will be a part of the options here. Now, how can that become easy for me? I looked at one, okay, I felt that, okay, it was fine. Then I compared it with the correction statement and I realized that no, this is not a good correction. Okay, the act of rubbing stones is fine. So that's how I eliminated one from the mix. Okay, then 2 and 3, as I read them, I identified the obvious errors there. There were some very glaring obvious errors here. So 2 and 3, then I read the correction and yes, this seems like a fine correction. These are grammatically correct fragments. So 3 is the answer. Right? Okay. All right, let's look at this one. The same question type. Okay. All right. All right. So it's two, mostly twos, and then there's one, three. Okay. Now, see this. Look at the second one. I think we can see that there is an error here, right? But supplementing. Why supplementing? Okay. They supplemented. That's what I want to say. So, although they supplemented their diet of birds, insects, and other animals. So, B seems like a fine correction of the error that I've spotted in 2. Now, C does not need a correction because you supplement A with B. Supplement X with Y, not by. So 3 is fine. Okay. So based on this, I can eliminate these. Now, is it 2? Is it 3? The animals of this forest were primarily carnivores, although they supplemented their diet of birds, insects, and other animals with fruits on some occasions. This is a tricky one now. Okay. I picked it up. Actually, I have patterned it on a previous year question that I saw in your exam, and this error was something that was there, right? And the answer that had been extended in your, uh, I mean, these are memory based papers. The answers that had been extended there is only 1 and 2. The animals of that forest were primarily carnivores. Now, see, this is not completely incorrect. When you are narrating a story and you want to show you want to make something more vivid for your reader, you put it near the reader. This means something that is near, right? You try to put it near the reader so that it's more vivid to the reader. So, if I'm, let's say, narrating a story to you about a cricket match, so in this ground, I will not call it in that ground, I'll talk about it as in this ground. Yeah, on this ground, whatever. Okay, treating it as a surface or as an area. So on this ground, that's what I will say. But that is for vivid descriptions. Usually when we are talking about something in the past, okay, we treat it as something that is distant, and therefore that is more appropriate. Probably that is why this had been marked as an error, okay, and only 1 and 2 is a better choice. Okay, so good, those who said 2, and I hope those who said 3, you are not completely incorrect, but then going by the usual logic, the usual is that okay, when we refer to something in the past, it's a distant phenomenon, and that's why we prefer that over this. Okay, all right. So 2 is the answer for 2 was the answer for the previous one. Now, I have also included one question on voice, one on reported speech, because these topics may also come in your exam. So don't just think that you have to restrict yourself to parts of speech and grammar. Practice these areas also: voice, indirect, direct speech, hypothetical conditionals. Okay, things that students can sometimes miss out on. So change the voice of the given sentence. It's a very popular exam question, and I want you to tell me which is the best here. All right. Rohan says B. Okay. Shabaz B. I think you can ask this question from Saral sir. Rishikesh, you have a session with him at 1. So he'll be able to answer this better. B, D, A, C. Okay, pretty much everything. All right. The bottle should be opened. This part is absolutely correct. Okay. So instead of you should open the bottle, if I want to change it to the passive voice, the object will become the subject. So the bottle should be opened. Now about 4 hours, do you see that here also we have an active structure? Subject is the doer and the subject is going to perform this action of using, right? So you use it should also be changed to passive. Okay, you use it should also be changed to the passive voice. So instead of saying you use it, you will say before it is used by you. So by you part is implied. A lot of times when we change a sentence into the passive voice, then this subject here, it is deleted because it is implied. Okay, so the bottle should be opened about 4 hours before it is used. You use it retains the active structure. Some of you must be wondering why not be? Because here this is treating use as a noun. This is treating use as a noun, whereas my original sentence used it as a verb. So I can't change the part of speech on my own. Okay, again the same error, right? So I hope this is clear to you. A and B eliminated. D is the answer. C eliminated. And of course, none of these is eliminated because D is correct. Does this make sense? Change every active structure to the passive structure. You should take the mock test, Jessica. It's not a question of can, you should. So Meenu is asking that, okay, if I don't understand the meaning of a word, I hope you're talking about vocabulary here. Yes? Or basically you're saying the directions of the question. In that case, that's a tricky one. I mean, if you don't understand it at all, then just mark something randomly and proceed. If you understand it even to some extent, then I think you should be able to eliminate at least 2 options. And among the remaining 3 or the 2, in case you've been able to eliminate 3, you just make a calculated guess there. Right? Okay. So the last question for the day, being used. Why being used? Being used will be used if, let's say, my active sentence says using. If the active sentence has ing, then only the passive voice is going to have ing. Okay, Om? The last question for the day. Let me see some enthusiastic responses. Yes. Change it to indirect speech, also known as reported speech. Let me see who answers the fastest here. So, Divya, here a sentence is given to you in direct speech. Direct is when you're directly talking to the listener, right? Now you have to change it to indirect speech. So, what is indirect speech? Let's say you had this conversation and now you are reporting it to someone else that, okay, I had this conversation. So, that is called indirect speech. C versus D. Okay. Your brother asked her or had asked her, which is correct. See, this does not change its tense. This does not change its tense, right? This verb is called the reporting verb, and the reporting verb does not change its tense. So we'll not change it to had asked. Okay, it will remain asked her. Now, some of you are saying, when had Ram? When had Ram? Isn't this a question structure? When had Ram? When I am reporting it, I am not reporting it as a question. There is a full stop here. When had Ram would have worked, putting the verb before the subject, that works when there is a question mark later on, when it's a question. So why D then? Okay, so C and D, neither is the answer. Okay, this is absolutely incorrect because here, when we talk about what is there inside the quotes, the past simple changes to past perfect. This has to change to past perfect. This reporting verb will remain as it is, in the sense, in the same tense. Okay. So, told her नहीं, उसने question पूछा है. So, told her is eliminated. Your brother asked her when Ram had given her the book. When Ram had given her the book. Subject first, verb later, because there is a full stop later on. This is no longer in the format of a direct question. It has now become an indirect question. Okay, it has a full stop after it. Okay, I hope this makes sense. Good. Those who said B, absolutely correct. When had Ram? Wrong. All right. Hope this is clear. Any queries, please ask me. And remember, I'm telling you this again, you are worthy of all your desires. Everything you wish for in life, not just MAHCET, not just TISNET, everything else as well. Okay, so please stay calm and prepare well. Prepare with a positive attitude. Trust me, it's going to make tons of difference to your preparation. All right. And in case you or any of your friends are preparing for CAT 2023, then you can recommend this comprehensive program to them. All right. If some of you are preparing for 23 also, or your friends are, they also took CAT 22 and want to have a strategy, okay, because the retaker strategy is different from someone who's attempting it for the first time, then they should attend this workshop on the 25th Feb at 7 p.m. and you have to register for it. Also, because GK is important in TISNET, you know that these sessions have been going on. So in case you're wondering what should I do today, right? The exam is day after tomorrow. What is it that I can do today? You can just watch the recordings of these sessions and it'll add some information to your brain, right? So just by listening, you can add some more information. TISNET 23 is round the corner, you know this, and we will come up with a detailed analysis just after the exam at 5:30 p.m. where we'll talk to you about everything, okay, good attempts. We even discuss some questions usually. So do join us. All right, then stay connected. I hope you've subscribed to the channel and you can also download our BYJU'S exam prep app. This also has informative sessions for CAT 23. Okay, and we are everywhere on social media, right? Welcome, welcome, guys. Welcome. Previous year papers. Uh, LY paper, you mean previous year papers, Meenu? Yes, previous year papers do help a lot. Previous year papers help, taking mock test helps. Okay, do it in a timed manner. Welcome everyone. I hope the session helped. Bye bye. See you.